G'day, my suckies. I hope you're having a succulent day, because I know I'm definitely having a succulent day. So today I figured I might talk about something a little more juicy, something a little bit more whack, something a little bit more recent. So about a month ago, I went to see a concert for a band called Beartooth and Wind Waker. I can't remember the other band because I didn't know them too well. Um, but when I was going out, um, just a little bit before, I was just hanging out with my buddy, my pal, let's call him Freddie. Me and Freddie were doing a little bit of barista training. So that was a pretty enjoyable time. We learned how to make smacking fabulous coffees, succulent coffees, if you will. And these coffees were brilliant. We went to a really nice little coffee place that taught us some tips and tricks, which were actually really good. I'm gonna look up their name now because I really want to shout them out because they were so good there. So the place was called La Crema Coffee. They made mm, just the most La Crema coffee ever. It was brilliant. Like they taught us how to do it. We got to try our own, and we were like, damn, this is good coffee. Personally, I'm not a massive coffee drinker. I have a fair bit of coffee, like a year, but it's a fair bit spread out over time. So maybe once or twice a month, I'll have a good big cup of double shot coffee of some sort, depending what I'm feeling like. Maybe a cafe latte, maybe, just go easy espresso, whatever. Anyway, if you are in Adelaide, go check out La Crema Coffee. They make really good stuff. It's a little bit out of the way sometimes, but it's well worth it. You can go with a mate or something. I've been down there a few times with a few friends just to, pop in, say hi, have a coffee, and then head out to whatever we're doing. Anyway, back to the main story. So my mate and I, after we finished up there, we were like, damn, we need to prep up. We'll head out for the night. We'll have a sick night. This is my mate's first time going to like a band, to a gig, a concert, or anything like that. He was like, okay, I'm really keen for this, and I'm like, damn man, I'm glad you're keen. So to prep up, we went to my sister's place, somewhere in Adelaide, and Freddie was like, all good, all good in the hood, nothing was going wrong, all our phones were charged, we'd prepped up and all that. But yeah, we needed to catch a train there, so that was no issue. We popped on a train, headed there, and we were like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. But it wasn't. Um, we needed to grab some food when we got to like Adelaide, and then I was like, "Hey, how about we go to Sushi Train? It's a little bit of a walk, but we'll still be fine for the concert. Like, we can miss one of the really small opening bands. They're not super important, but we'll still be there in a good amount of time, so we can catch up with my mate's co-worker. Um, so we headed out. We went to the sushi place, and on our way, we came across like regular traffic, like a stop sign, red, green, white, I mean yellow. So this stop sign was all good in the hood. You pressed the button and you walked across. This was a really busy road though, like it was super busy. Um, and so when we went across, my mate, he accidentally like dropped his phone in the middle of the road and I like heard and I was like, okay, okay, you've dropped your phone. I'll go grab that. That's like no issue, but we got to cross quick because we were deciding to cross just like at the end. So we made it and it was like, okay, we'll have enough time to cross. It'll be all good in the hood. We'll be fine. Uh, so he was like, damn, I've dropped my phone after like I pointed it out to him. I went and grabbed it, and he'd already turned around to go grab it and walked back. And I was like, I already have your phone, man. You just cross. So in doing so, he nearly got hit by a car. But obviously everyone's slow there, so it's not as dangerous as the last video, which I can link up to the top now. Um, so he had nearly got hit by a car again. Everyone was beeping at us because we were in the middle of this road, and I was like, we need to get across, dude. We need to get back." So we crossed the road successfully, and he was like, "Damn, dude, I could have lost my life there." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it's fine, man. It's not a big deal. We're in the city. Everyone's slow at stoplights. We needed to grab your phone anyway. Worst thing that could have happened is you get hit by a car and they stop and they like slightly push you over and you get like a few bruises or maybe some like a basic broken bone." Anyway, we head to the sushi trade where they have like this sushi on a conveyor belt. That's all good in the hood too. We go and have some fresh sushi, some yummy sushi for like $9, 3 plates. Definitely worth it. Love sushi trains. Um, and then we head off to the train again to take one stop to uh, the concert place we're going to. Um, so we're heading there, and I'm like, hey man, uh, do you have your up to date ticket? Because you need there's special tickets in Australia, so there's South Australia specifically. So you have the student ticket, which is the regular ticket that all the kiddos have, all the school kiddos. It goes from grade 1 to like whatever to grade 12. And then you have the next ticket, which is like the concession ticket, which is when you're in uni or like you're a concession or whatever that means. Um, and then you have the adult ticket, which is when you're not doing any of that and you need that ticket. So I had the concession ticket for like uni and stuff, but I look pretty young. So I'm like, all right, dude, if you still have your kids ticket, I'll just hold on to that. Um, you're not in uni at the moment, so make sure you don't talk like about any of that. If the ticket, what's it, guy asks you, we're just taking one trip. It's only small. We're gonna be catching an Uber after this. It won't be a big deal. Just as long as you don't blow your cover, we'll be all good. Um, so I prepped him. I thought I prepped him pretty well, but I didn't think we'd get scanned, but like I thought, oh well, we'll just switch tickets. Um, we headed on. We all sat down. He went on to Discord and chatted with a few people, and I was busy just like on Instagram or whatever, just scrolling as you do. Uh, yeah, a ticket guy came up to us first, and he was like, "Hey man, uh, what is do you have your ticket here? Can I scan it and check if it's validated?" And he was like, "Oh, what? Yes." And so he got his ticket scanned, and yeah, poor boy. He was put under the ropes pretty quick, and he couldn't handle the stress. And the guy was like, "Oh, I need some ID." And he's like, "Yeah, I have my ID on me." And I'm like, "Oh, do you have your other ID for being a uni student?" And he's like, "No, I don't have that. I never got it. I haven't been in uni." I'm like, "Dude, are you sure? I mean, you went and just applied for uni for like next year, so you technically could have it." And he's like, "Nah, man, I don't have it." I'm like, he's buckling so bad. Um, so the guy buckled and he couldn't handle the pressure. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to leave you for the Sharks, man. He got ripped into by the ID guy, the ticket guy, and then he asked me, "Do you have your ticket?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I gave him my ticket because I look 16. He was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Do you have ID?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't have ID on me. All I have is my phone." And he's like, "You need your ID when you go on here." I'm like, "I don't have my ID. I just have my phone." Um, I did have my ID. I did have my wallet, but he didn't need to know that for that point in time. I didn't want to incriminate myself and get a fine of $400 just because of that. It was only like a one-time thing, and I didn't want to be stuffed under like the bus just because we didn't have like the proper stuff for like a really tiny trip, like really small. One stop, like 1K. We could have walked there. It wouldn't have been like that big a deal, but like whatever. Um, and he nearly got put under the bus in terms of like paying this $400 fine. But we got to our stop just in time. I was like, let's get off. We've got to go to the ticket guy. And he's like, dude, we're gonna fine you. We're gonna fine your friend for not having the right ticket. It's gonna be $400. And he didn't get enough time to take my friend's details, luckily. Um, and we yeeted out of there. And I was feeling so scared because I didn't know that he didn't have enough time to get the ID stuff and the ticket stuff. Um, I've seen plenty of people on these trains do some pretty sketchy things, like rocking up with like adults, maybe like 30-year-old, like rocking up with a ticket, a student ticket, and scanning it and nothing happening. That makes the boing noise. And these ticket guys just avoid them because it's like they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with a fight. So they don't really care about their jobs anyway, and they're just they don't want to do anything like that. So I can't be bothered. So I leave, and my friend leaves, and we're like, okay, that was bad. This has been bad so far tonight, and it's not enjoyable at this point in time. I'm not feeling the good moods. He's not feeling the good vibes. But we're like, it's Beartooth. We'll see them. It's a rockin' band. Like, let's go have fun. I've been looking forward to this for like ages, by the way. And he was it's his first thing, so he's like not as keen. Like he's not super into the genre of music too. Um, so we rock up. We're all good in the hood again. Just not stressing about the dropping of the phone in the middle of the road and the ID. So we head inside, give them our tickets for the show, and everything's good in the hood again. And we're like, all right, let's have a fun time. Forget about everything. We're good. So I head in and meet up with my previous friends, and he hangs out with his co-worker. These previous friends are just, the same guys before. I met up with Jay. Jay's always into like music and stuff. So everything's fine again. Nothing's wrong. We're all fine. This goes on for like an hour or so, just enjoying the music. I was moshing, and my mate Freddie was out with his co-worker, just watching from afar, as they should, enjoying the music. But they were discussing about when they wanted to go mosh. So moshing is like when you just jump up and down, and in a rock or metal area, moshing can be a bit more dangerous, but like it's really not that bad. You might get a bruise or so here. So a band starts playing. It's before Beartooth. It was like a couple songs before Beartooth were heading on. And my mate's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give moshing a go while it's a bit more quiet. So there weren't heaps of people, maybe 100 people moshing. Everyone else was kind of watching from a distance. It's a pub-like area. Just you could buy drinks on the side or whatever. It's not too heckas. Um, then he goes out moshing, and I was busy having fun already. I headed out with them, but I always get lost in the crowd. I stay on the edges, make sure it's safe. I'm a small bloke. He was a tall bloke, so he thought he was more fine. Um, and maybe about a minute or two in, he gets pushed over, and I didn't know where he went. I was like, where is the guy? I can't find him. Um, and I tried to look for him everywhere. I couldn't see him anywhere, and so I texted him, "Yo, bro, where you at? Where you at? I was just blushing." And he's like, "I've fallen over. I'm outside. You can go find me just around like on a seat or something by the bar." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go look for you right now." So I headed out. I forgot about the concert. I was like, "Okay, how are you going, man? Are you okay?" And he's like, try to explain this stuff, but the music was really loud, and I eventually got it out of him, and he's like, my leg I think it's snapped. I think it's broken. I'm like, what? How can you break your leg? Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. My leg kind of snapped, and it went like imagine you get your arm and you fold it in towards yourself, but that's his leg, but going from the side out. He then said, we've contacted the emergency services. I think I'm going to need surgery. And I was like, dude, dude, what have you done? So this was a point in time when I had to make a really tough decision. Am I going to go watch my favorite band at the time, Beartooth, who I've been following for years, or be one of the boys and head out and assist them as much as possible? So Naturally, I picked the option that everyone's thinking. I went and watched Beartooth, and no, I'm joking. I headed out with the boys. For the boys, I'm his man. I would definitely help him in a drop of a coin. I skipped this. It was a bit sad for me, but I knew they were going to be coming back another time, and I'd enjoy them more the next time. So I headed out with the emergency services. Um, they X-rayed him and said his bone wasn't broken, and he was like, "Phew, I will just be off for a little bit." Turns out his ligament went funny, and his bone did break, but only a little bit, so it wasn't that big a deal. But he did need to go up for surgery, and it all happened very quickly, and I was just like, "Wow, this is not good." This night, it ended horrifically. It was a letdown, honestly, and but that's fine, because sometimes life throws lemons at you and you squeeze them, and they make really bad juice because those lemons are rotten. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Throw a massive dislike at the screen if you're ready. That's how we do it on this channel. We're testing the algorithm, seeing what happens if we get tons of dislikes for videos and if it doesn't like do anything. Who knows? That's why we're doing it. If you want to see more content like this, just hit the sub button. Everyone knows what it does. It's your choice, bro. Have beautiful days. Make sure they're salty and succulent. And ta ta.